Still 3 minutes are there. We'll wait for the other participants to join. If anyone has any question or anything in that you want to take earlier, we can start with that, or else we can wait. Okay, so I guess we can wait for some time. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, everyone. Please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet. Thank you so much for joining. It's 4 p.m. and I guess we can start. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Mataji.
For all the devotees for whom it is possible, if you can please come on your videos. I'll just mention in the book. Thank you so much, Mataji. We'll start with prayers. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेमो प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरातिशे नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. So, anyone would like to give any recap of what all we have covered till now? Yes, any Mataji, anyone would like to just add some points that we have covered in the last class?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Very
Hare
nice.
Krishna Mataji. Everyone.
We started with, am I audible, Mataji?
Yes, yes, you're audible.
We started with chapter 1, observing the armies in the Kurukshetra war.
Mhm.
And the first shloka was referring to Dhritarashtra question to Sanjaya. Then second one was Sanjaya explaining to Dhritarashtra. And
Mhm.
third one was Duryodhana finding the armies placed well, opposite armies. And then trying to speak to and the fourth verse talking to Dronacharya, saying that you have even taught Dushyadumna, Drupada's son, and about that
Right.
how Drupada and Dronacharya, Drupada had a benediction about that. Then
Mhm.
fifth one is about same Duryodhana continuing asking his teacher whether are we strong enough like the opposite
Mhm.
army.
Mhm.
His
Right,
pardon
right.
is strong.
Yes, and the important point that was seen in these verses where Duryodhan was explaining was his diplomacy of how he's using specific words, right? So how he's saying your disciple, son of Drupad, and all those points, right? Wherein he was specifically mentioning things which were although not required, but while he's saying we saw that to arouse anger and to make that feel ignite that person that you have to fight this war. You should not be lenient. You should not be considerable towards the Pandavas, right?
Towards
So
Arjuna.
all those, yes, all those points were covered. So last time there was no specific PPT that I created, but this time I have tried to do that. So let me share and we'll just uh, go through it once. So let me know if it is visible.
Yes, Mataji, we can see it.
Before confirming Mataji. So yes, sorry, it started from 1.8. Yes, so I was telling you all that there are subsection headings, and I will give you this PPT. So even though you are not able to write all these down as of now, that is fine. You can write down later. So these are the subsections headings by which we can understand. Like if I'm, let's say, just I'm taking up my Bhagavad Gita and I'm reading this subsection heading and then reading the verse, just a translation, right? So then also I can make sense of what is happening. It creates a proper flow and we are able to understand the whole chapter as a conversation as it is going on, right? So this will help you. So initially we as Mataji has already, Shri Priya Mataji already told, that started with the Rastra's query, then Sanjay answers, then Duryodhana's diplomacy is seen. First in 3 to 6 verses he is explaining the Pandav's army, and from 7 to 11th verse, he would be explaining the Duryodhana's army, like his own army. So how he's explaining which warriors he's naming, all those things we have seen in third, fourth, and fifth verses. And today also we'll just go through them once. And yes, we will also see how much we can cover from 7 to 11. Okay. So last time, yes, there was a question that whether Kunti Bhoj is a father or brother. So he is the father of Kunti Maharani. There was some mistake in the PPT, so it was mentioned as brother. So yes, that we can consider. And yes, Yuyudhan, I told that I was not sure at that point of time. So Yuyudhan is also known as Satyaki. He's a disciple of Arjun. So basically, if we consider how much strong or how much powerful this person would be, is can this just can be understood by this one line that he is disciple of Arjun. So Arjun is the best of archer in the whole war field. So of course, his disciple would be one of the strongest as well. And he was also a very dear devotee of Krishna. So he was Senapati of Krishna. So what happened was, because like we all know that Duryodhan got the Narayani Sena from Krishna, and Arjun took Krishna without any weapons, or he was not fighting, right? But as per the rule, the whole Sena is going to Duryodhan, right? The whole Narayani Sena is going to Duryodhan. So by default, the Senapati will also go to Duryodhan, right? But the Senapati, who is Satyaki, Duryodhan, he loved Krishna so much. He said that Krishna, please, I cannot leave you. So let everything go to Kauravas, but I will still stay where you are. So he fought from the side of Pandavas. So therefore, Duryodhan also is mentioning his name, because he's such a great warrior that his name must be mentioned, so that he's making it a point to come in front of Dronacharya, that see, there are such high valor devotees, warriors on the side of Pandavas whom we have to fight, and we have to kill them. But out of all the members who were saved from the Pandavas side, so five were the Pandavas who were not killed in the war. One is of course Krishna, and the seventh one who remained is Satyaki. So he was not killed in the war. And he is a guru of Abhimanyu. So when we all know that Abhimanyu is the son of Arjun, right, who was killed very brutally by many warriors who surrounded him. And he was a small child, I guess 16 years or 18 years of age, and he was very he knew how to go inside the Chakravyuh, but he did not know how to come out. So at that point of time, he was captured, and everyone killed him. Like it's not a it as per the rule, there cannot be more than one warrior to fight with one warrior, right? There shall not be so many warriors surrounding one small young warrior, and you should not be killing him like that way, right? There were many rules, and people used to follow those rules in the wars earlier, but he was killed by breaking the law, right? So when his description is given, it is written as he fought like Satyaki. So Abhimanyu fought so nicely that his fighting is compared to Satyaki's fighting. So we can consider now that how important and how a good warrior Satyaki was. So this is one of the description which I left in the last class. Virat, as we already discussed, that he was the king of Virat Desh, where Pandavas stayed in disguise during Agyatwas, and he offered his daughter Uttara for Abhimanyu, and Drupad is the father of Draupadi. So these are the devotees whose names are written in 1.4, which we considered last time. That is why I'm not reading the words. And there are other adjectives used. So in 1.4, 1.5, and 1.6, we will see how Duryodhan has named the warrior and used some adjectives for them. So why he has used these adjectives? Like for example, he has mentioned Suraha. So those who are very enthusiastic to fight the war. So what he's trying to convey is that all the people on the Pandavas side, they know that we are fighting for dharma, we are on the right side. So they are very enthusiastic, they are not fearful. But people on Kauravas side, there were many people who were Duryodhan actually he used to catch some kings, and based on some deals he would make them that okay, you will fight on my side, right? So I cannot go into the details of it, as I do not know the names and the exact stories, but whatever I've heard in the lectures, that this way there were many people in the Kaurav army who were not very enthusiastic to fight the war, but just because of some promise that they have made, or because of some favor under which they are they are buried under some favor which Duryodhan did on them. So because of that, they were on Duryodhana's side, but they were not very enthusiastic. So when he's using this Suraha word, Duryodhana, he's saying that all the people on that side are enthusiastic, but you should also be enthusiastic. Then Maheshwasa, so mighty bowman. Mighty bowman means what? All these warriors, they were so powerful that even their bows were very heavy to lift. It is said that Arjun, his like when he did not receive the Gandiva he received from Agnidev. So before he received the Gandiva, he used to, of course, he was a very good archer, right? He used to practice a lot, and it is said that no one could catch how Arjun is taking the arrow, lifting the string, and releasing the arrow, right? So it was so fast. Like, for example, if you're moving a fan at full speed, you won't be able to see the blades of your fan, right? So similarly, Arjun's actions could not be caught. He was so fast. He would actually release lakhs of arrows. For the opposition, it would be they would feel like there is a rain of arrows coming in. That was the That was the what I can say, the way Arjun used to fight, right? So similarly, all the other like these three warriors whose name are written, they are also referred to as Maheshwasa, as in mighty bowmen. And the bows used to be so heavy that it is by default understood that anyone who is carrying that bow has to be very qualified, right? No one could even lift those bows. And what about lifting is one thing, but what about actually fighting using those bows? You have to be very, very fast and very, very powerful to use those bows and arrows, right? So this is the meaning of Maheshwasa. And Maharatha, as I already explained in the last class, that is a great fighter. He can fight alone with thousands of warriors, right? Thousands of Rathis. Then, yes, and this was Bhima Arjuna Samayudhi, equal in fighting to Bhima and Arjuna. So why they have compared with to Bhima and Arjuna? That this we already covered. That Bhima, he was very angry with Kauravas and took the vows to kill them. And Arjuna, as I explained just now, that um he had this Gandiva bow, which was given by Agnidev, and his quiver never stopped supplying arrows. So you can understand. Already he is a very powerful warrior. His arrows speed, like his shooting of arrow speed, his speed is so high that no one can catch him, and his quiver never stops supplying arrows. So now it's so difficult to fight with such a warrior, right? So these are the adjectives used by Duryodhana to, as I told earlier, that to ignite the fire within Dronacharya and other warriors on his side, that you should not be less enthusiastic in fighting with the Pandavas. And this is 1.5 where he's glorifying more of Pandava warriors. So this we already covered last time. I'm not going to go in detail. Just Kunti Bhoja is the father of Kunti Maharani. So this, and these are Narapungava. They are heroes in human society, as well as they are Viryavan, very, very powerful. Just a minute. Okay. So now we'll start from 1.6 today by checking the words, because we have not covered this last time. Okay. युधामन्युश्च विक्रान्त उत्तमौजश्च वीर्यवान् सौभद्रो द्रौपदेयश्च सर्व एव महारथः. There are the mighty Yudhamanyu, the very powerful Uttamoja, the son of Subhadra, and the sons of Draupadi. All these warriors are great chariot fighters. So these are the these are the four names that Duryodhana has taken here, right? So Yudhamanyu and Uttamoja. So these two were basically, they were very powerful warriors from Panchal Desh, and they were guarding the wheels of Arjuna's chariot. So here we would see that Arjuna's chariot, the two wheels in the front, right? These charioteers, sorry, these warriors were actually guarding those wheels, that no one should hit his chariot wheels. Although it was a rule not to, but still, as a matter of safeguard. And they were also devotees of Krishna, and they were very, very powerful. In fact, it was almost very difficult to kill them. They were there till the end, and they were so powerful that they were not killed till the end actually. But during the end, because Ashwathama, he thought that like he actually brutally killed the sons of Draupadi also, and he also killed these two people, Yudhamanyu and Uttamoja, while they were sleeping. So this way these were killed with by cheating, right? They were not killed in a way that in the war field or such. Subhadra, a son of Draupadi. So he was a young child, as we know, Abhimanyu. He was a son of Subhadra. He was very young, and he was killed when many Maharathis surrounded him and brutally killed him. And Draupadeya, the sons of Draupadi, they were also killed. So Ashwathama, he wanted to please Duryodhana. So what he did, he actually he thought that Pandavas are sleeping, and he thought that I'll kill all the five Pandavas while they are sleeping, and Duryodhana would be very happy that okay, the war is over now. But he did not know that those five people who were sleeping, they were not Pandavas, they were the sons of Draupadi. So he killed all five of them while they were sleeping. So that also, so here we see that all the warriors whose names are mentioned in this verse, all were brutally killed by either Ashwathama or the other warriors on the Kauravas side. So the adjectives what they have used here, Duryodhana has used here. One is Vikranta, which means mighty, Viryavan, very powerful, and Maharatha, great chariot fighters. So if we just go through the adjectives that Duryodhan has used, he has used a lot of adjectives, right? Suraha, Maheshwasa, Maharatha, Bhimarjuna Samayudhi, then Viryavan, Narapungava. Again, here Viryavan comes Vikranta and Maharatha. So many like what he's doing, he's trying to ignite the fire inside his warriors. But it should not happen, right? That all warriors became fearful. Oh, Pandava's army is very strong. Let it be. We don't want to fight, right? So now Duryodhana thinks that it should not happen. The opposite is happening with my warriors. I'm trying to make them enthusiastic and they are becoming fearful. So that should not happen. So now he thinks, no, I should also introduce my warriors in a better way, right? So the next verse that we have from 7 till 11, he starts describing his own warriors. Okay. So Duryodhana, just a second. So Duryodhana thought that I wanted to ignite anger towards Pandavas and thus describe their warriors, but my warriors should not become fearful instead, right? Like I mentioned. So what did, sorry, I did not go to 1.7. Yeah. अस्माकं तव विशिष्टाये तान् निबोध द्विजोत्तमा नायका मम सैन्यस्य सम्नार्थं तान् ब्रवीमि ते अस्माकं, sorry, if we go the translation, O best of the Brahmanas, for your information, let me tell you about the captains who are especially qualified to lead my military force. So this who is saying to whom, like, okay, if I just take a stop and if someone can raise their hands and answer. Okay, I have, yeah, Jikisha Mataji, you can wait. You are very regular.
Conversation never happened.
Any other devotees who would like to answer? Okay, Meenakshi Mataji, would you like to try? Or Shruti Mataji? Okay, I have two hands. So this is very important, right? If we are in a class and if we do not know that, okay, what is the context going on? Who is talking to whom actually, right? That will, you will not be able to understand whatever I'm speaking, right? So whatever you are thinking, even if it is wrong, that's not a problem. But whatever you have understood till now, who is speaking, right? That you can just raise your hand and let me know who is telling these things to whom. Okay. Someone else would like to try. Pramila Mataji. Padma Mataji. Okay. Okay. So, okay. Jigisha Mataji, you can tell.
Hare Krishna Mataji. I think this is said by Duryodhan to his Sena.
Sena, but specifically to whom?
Specifically,
In the third verse, we discussed he was talking to one person, right?
Dronacharya.
Right. He went to Dronacharya, right, Sudhanaji?
okay.
So he went to Dronacharya, who is actually his guru, and to his guru, he's speaking things in sarcasm. He's giving taunts, right? And he's giving his information that, okay, see how mighty is the other army. So all these verses from 3 till 11, Duryodhana is speaking to Dronacharya. Okay. Okay, yes. So now when we have the context, let's move ahead. So now he wants to describe his own army, right? So in 1.3, we saw that he mentioned this word Paschaitam. Okay, Paschaitam Panduputranam, like just see. Just see how they have arranged. Behold the army. This he's saying, right? This was Paschaitam. So here Duryodhana is telling to Dronacharya, just see how how the Pandava army is arranged by your disciple, who is the son of Drupad, right? So this way he's saying, just see. But in 1.7, here he's saying, Nibodaha. So Niboda is just take note. It's like be informed. So why he's using different word here is because Pandava's army is what he could see, right? Dronacharya could see in front of himself. So therefore, he's saying Pashyatam means just see. And here he's saying for your information, because all the army is behind Dronacharya. Dronacharya is in the front. So this is the change of word that he is using to introduce his own army. Okay. And here what adjective that he is using is especially qualified. So especially qualified in the sense of that these warriors are experienced. Right? Here Vishishtaha, right? So they are especially powerful, especially qualified, and which means they have fought many wars before. So this is the first initial adjective that he used, and this is what I told you, that in 1.3 he used Paschaitam, please see, as army is in front of Dronacharya. And in 1.7, he used Nibodh word, like which is for your information, because army is behind Dronacharya. Okay, so moving ahead, because this was just an introduction of before naming his own warriors. So we go to 1.8. Bhavan Bhishmascha Karnascha Kripascha Samitim Jaya Ashwathama Vikarnascha Saumadattistatthaivacha. So here he is mentioning different names. Bhavan means Dronacharya. Bhavan means you, yourself. So he's talking to Dronacharya. So that means Bhavan means Dronacharya. Bhishmas means Bhishmadev. Karna is Karna, as we know. Kripas is Kripacharya. Ashwathama is the son of Dronacharya. Vikarna and Saumadatta. So Saumadatta is basically the son, Saumadatti. So this way it means that he's a son of Somadatta. Okay. So these are the names he has mentioned here. The translation goes like, there are personalities like yourself, Bhishma, Karna, Kripa, Ashwathama, Vikarna, and the son of Somadatta called Bhurishrava. This is the name of Somadatta's son, who are always victorious in battle. Right. So now here the important point is, there is a particular order which should move ahead. Right. First of all, as we discussed earlier, that ideally Duryodhana should have gone to Bhishma Dev first, because he is the eldest among everyone in the whole Kaurav army. And he is the great grandfather of Kauravas, right? So he should have been actually gone to Bhishma Dev first. But instead of Bhishma Dev, he went to Dronacharya. Now when he's taking names, here also he's first mentioning Dronacharya. He's talking to Dronacharya, he took the name of Dronacharya first. Then he takes Bhishma's name, and then Karna and Kripacharya. Ideally, first should be Bhishma, because he's the eldest among all, and he's actually more knowledgeable, more charitable, more religious. In every way, he's more than all the other warriors, right? Then comes Dronacharya, then comes Kripacharya, because he's also Guru, right? And then should come Karna, because Karna is he's not a Guru, he's not elderly, right? Anyway, Karna should not come before Kripacharya. But Duryodhan actually, he's not considering who is more elder or who is more religious or who is more knowledgeable, right? He has just one consideration, that who is actually helping me based on my politics, right? Duryodhana consider who among these is more favorable towards me and whom I can take benefit of. And based on my own politics, like who should be named first and whom I can manipulate for my sake. All these things are going on in Duryodhana's mind. So the order of naming people has all gone wrong when he's taking the names, right? Although we see that when Arjun, he's mentioning in the second chapter, when he tells Krishna, right, that I cannot fight these people. So at that point of time, he's also taking names, but he's taking in the right order. He's mentioning Bhishma, Dronacharya, Kripacharya. In that way, he's going. He's not going in a haphazard way. And last class, if someone remembers, I told that Yudhishthir also went to take permission for the war, right? Before the war began. And at that point of time, he first went to Bhishma Dev, then Dronacharya, and then Kripacharya. Anyone remembers how Yudhishthir Maharaj approached these great people? Last time we discussed in detail. Anyone
He
remembers?
got off from his chariot.
Yes.
And he circumambulated.
Right, right. He actually
Paid
put down
obeisances.
his paid obeisances.
Obeisances.
Right, exactly. Right, right. He paid obeisances. He put down his, first of all, he put down his mukut. He put down all his arms that he was carrying. He went barefooted to these personalities. He paid his obeisances, circumambulated them, offered respects, and took permission. So this
And
is the way
he's-
Yudhishthir Maharaj went.
He's approaching as submissive.
Right. With submissive attitude, he is going to these generals. He is not going in a way of a king. Although Duryodhana is actually addressing to all of these as king, as we saw in second verse, Raja. Raja Vachana
As a-
Abravit. Right?
As authoritative.
Yes, as authority. So similarly, Arjun and Yudhishthir at any point of time, they are not forgetting the right order in which they should be addressed. But Duryodhana, as we saw in this word 1.8, that he is going by his own order, right? So Duryodhana, why he was so confident? He was also fearful because he knew that he is wrong in a way of when we talk of dharma and adharma. But he was very confident because he knew Bhishma Dev has this ichha mrityu, right? He cannot die until he himself decides that I want to die, and he's so powerful. He alone can, if he can almost defeat Parshuram. Parshuram is Lord, right? He's the Bhagwan, and if he can almost defeat Parshuram, before which he actually was about to. And he has fought so many wars and he's such a great general. Only Bhishma Dev himself is enough to give him confidence. But along with him, Drona and Karna, these three people, because of these three people's presence, Duryodhana was very confident that these are sufficient to win the war. Okay, so he was just trying to do some buttering. He was trying to take names and he just make them feel comfortable that see how much I rely on you, right? So now we'll see each and every warrior that we have just read in 1.8 words, right? So Dronacharya. Dronacharya was basically, he was born to Bharadwaj Rishi and he was a teacher of all Kauravas and Pandavas and many more army men in the war. So many warriors in both the side, they were all students of Dronacharya. So such was his caliber. He was teacher of so many warriors and he alone killed many important warriors in the war. So in the last verses that we have discussed, right, wherein the Pandav armies warriors were discussed, many of many of them were killed by Dronacharya. Okay, now yes, so now comes Bhishma Dev. Bhishma Dev is a very interesting personality. He is an amazing devotee of the Lord, and the contribution that he is doing in the pastime of the Lord, that is so significant, but it is very difficult to understand the intricacies of the actions that he has taken, because in general sense the materialistic people think materially, right? They do not think on terms of the pastimes of the Lord, the transcendental aspect of it, right? They just think on the moral principle basis. But Bhishma Dev, we cannot judge his actions on the moral principle basis, just like that, right? So if we go into the detail, the first is, of course, he's a very intimate devotee of Lord Krishna. Okay. And there are internal and external reasons of Bhishma Dev's actions, right? So even if, not just Bhishma Dev, if you see any other pastime of the Lord also, all the other scriptures that we have, all the other pastimes, even Lord Krishna, all the other devotees who are mentioned in Bhagavatam, when we hear the Bhagavatam lectures from devotees, not from anywhere else, if you're just hearing from devotees, we would understand that there are so many reasons why they are doing a particular activity. And to understand those reasons, we have to go we have to hear from the devotees, right? So first, the external, what people are seeing is that because of his vow, he took the vow that whoever is on the throne of, whoever is on the throne, he will always be under him. So Hastinapur's throne was like Duryodhana, right? Not Duryodhana, but Dhritarashtra. So he will always be under Dhritarashtra's vow. He will not go against Dhritarashtra. This is what his vow was. So now someone might say that how can a devotee consider his own vow to be more than taking a side of Krishna or not taking side of Krishna, right? If someone tells me that, okay, if you're such a devotee, if you are a devotee of Krishna, how can you keep your material vow above whether I should be on Krishna's side or I should be on the side of Adharma, right? Someone might question that. If you're such a big devotee, why are you not on Krishna's side? So now, as I mentioned this one more time earlier, was that one thing was that he doesn't want to interfere in the pastimes of Krishna. Krishna in every Leela, he's trying to give some lessons. So now through Bhishma Dev, he wants to tell the whole world that if you are the bestest general in the whole world, if you are indefeatable, you're so powerful, you're almost unconquerable, still if you're on the side of adharma, you will be vanquished and you will lose, right? So this is one of the most important lesson that Krishna wants to tell, and Bhishma Dev is ready to take that blame on himself. He's not someone who is like, no, I will never take that blame. You know how many more years people would actually give me bad names that you were not on the side of Krishna. But this was one of the blame that he took on himself. And he also wanted that Pandavas would have been glorified less if he would have been with him. So, like if he would have been on Pandava's side and if they would have won, everyone would say, yeah, they had Bhishma Dev, so they won. No one would say that it is because of Krishna's presence that they won. When they were in totally opposite situation, when they were less capable, less army, they had not those many warriors, and they had so many challenges, right? So many injustices were done on them. As I already told, this son of Arjuna, Abhimanyu, he was killed brutally. Sons of Draupadi were killed brutally. There were so many warriors who were killed like that. So on any aspect, on all the aspects, actually, Pandavas were facing so many obstacles. But although instead of so many obstacles, they could still win the war, right? Only because of Krishna's presence. So similarly, if Bhishma Dev would have been on that side, then people would have said that it is all because of Bhishma Dev. They will never ever, Krishna will never ever be glorified. So therefore, to glorify Krishna, Bhishma Dev took the sides of Kauravas. And there is a very nice pastime that is one of the senior devotees has told in his class. What did he said? That even during disrobing of Draupadi, like that's such a big thing. Like you don't have to be a Mahatma to understand that this is wrong. Any person in the whole world would understand that this is wrong. And Bhishma Dev was present in that assembly. Why did such a big person who understands religion on all terms, like Bhishma Dev is one of the 12 Mahajans. So he has the complete knowledge of Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? Out of all the other Mahajans, total there are 12 Mahajans. So out of 12, one is Bhishma Dev. So it's not like Bhishma Dev doesn't know that this is wrong and he should stop it, right? But what lesson Krishna wanted to tell through that particular incident? Although it is very hard to digest for many devotees, still this particular pastime is very hard to digest for many devotees. But by hearing continuously and by hearing from actual right sources, we understand the intricacies of pastimes of Krishna. They are not as simple as that, right? So Krishna wanted to tell the whole world that Draupadi's 5 husbands, who are best among the warriors, they could not save her. There were so many other warriors in the assembly who were very, very powerful, just like Bhishma Dev. They could not save her. There were so many people, and she was crying in front of everyone, but no one would save her, right? No one would move ahead because they were all under this Duryodhana's rule. So, at that point of time, when Draupadi is actually putting up both her hands and calling out to Krishna, and at that point of time, the way Krishna is saving him, right? Now, no one would have saved her in this way, right? This is totally mystical how Krishna is saving his devotee. And the level of surrender, one of the lectures which I was hearing where Maharaj said that not just one hand or not just, oh Krishna, She's with full surrender. Initially, she tried to catch her sari and she was trying all her strength. But of course, she did not have that much strength as that of Dusashan, right? At that point of time also, she was having that consciousness that I can try something, I can try to save myself, I can do something to save myself, right? Some dependence, some level of dependence is there on my own self or on someone. Like when she's asking for help, she's having that dependence on someone else, that okay, this person will save me or that person will save me. But at the end, when she understood that no one is able to save me in this whole assembly of great warriors, no one is able to save me, at that point of time she took full surrender. And this full surrender is what is our actual goal in bhakti. We actually do not understand. We think that we are devotees of Krishna. I'm telling about myself, okay? Even if I'm think that I am on bhakti path and I want to surrender to Krishna, but at the time of reversal, when reversal comes, we depend on someone. We will depend on our family, we'll depend upon our relatives, we'll depend on our money, our influences, right? But through this pastime, Krishna is telling that you have to fully surrender on Krishna. You have to total 100% surrender on Krishna. Then you would be able to receive his mercy. So this is how Draupadi's pastime. Now, this pastime would have never happened if Bhishma would have interfered in between, right? If Bhishma, they would have stood up that no, 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 this is wrong and you will not do this and I will go against you and all that thing, right? So then Krishna will not come in picture. Draupadi will not give her 100% surrender to Krishna. So this is the reason why Bhishma Dev did not interfere in that pastime. And uh, whom are we dependent on during crisis? This is the lesson that we would understand through this particular Leela. Similarly, to take part in such pastimes of the Lord and serve him even at the cost of taking highest disgrace on his name forever. So now it's not easy. Like for example, if you catch someone doing a wrong thing, right? Even if you catch a little child and he's doing something wrong and his mother catches him, so first thing what he'll do, no, 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 I'm not doing that, no, you're getting me wrong, right? So when we are caught with our wrongdoings, we do not surrender immediately. Someone might think that now you have been caught, now you would say, sorry, Krishna, I surrender. So that's not the case. Because of our nature, we do not surrender to Krishna immediately. We try to defend our actions. We try to defend ourselves. Now, Bhishma Dev voluntarily, he's taking such a big disgrace on his name. For all time to come, can you imagine this example, which the senior devotee mentioned in his lecture, of Kekai? Now, Keikei, when she used to love Lord Ram like more than Bharat actually, and it was always impartial. It was never like, oh, Ram is Kaushalya's son or Bharat is my son. It was never ever like that. But a day before, so now these pastimes, when we understand through the Acharya's commentary, then we understand how intricate they are. So the Acharyas mention that one day before the coronation of Lord Ram, all the demigods came to Kekai, Mother Kekai, and they requested that you must stop this coronation. Because what if Lord Ram becomes the king, then who will kill Ravan? The whole purpose of the incarnation of the Lord would be defeated if Kekai would have not acted the way she acted, right? She knew this would be the biggest disgrace on her name. She was given this curse that no one would ever name his daughter as Kekai. Such a big curse. Someone, if someone says that no one will name their daughter as Bhumika, it would be such a bad thing that for a whole time to come, for for millions of yugas and yugas to come, no one would give this name. It would be such a big disgrace. My God, such a bad thing this girl has done, right? She was ready to take that. She told that, okay, if this serves the purpose of Lord Ram, if this serves the purpose of the absolute Lord, this is what I will do. So this is the highest level of surrender what the devotees do. And these intricate pastimes can only be understood. This is again and again I'm repeating. If we are hearing, so tat shrunu, Krishna mentions many times in Bhagavad Gita, shrunu. And in Bhagavatam also, Shravanam, Kirtanam. The first thing is Shravanam. So Shravanam has to be from bona fide devotees. If we are not hearing from bona fide devotees, if we are hearing from any people at any point of time, we must understand that we will not be able to understand these many intricacies. We will not feel blissful when we are hearing these pastimes. We will see, oh, Bhishma Deva, We know what he has done. He was a coward. He did not even save Draupadi. He did that. He did that. Keikei, she was such a person. She did so wrong with Lord Ram, right? This is the way we will have our feelings toward these great personalities. But we have to understand, if someone is in the pastime of the Lord, that person is not an ordinary person. He is the associate of the Lord. He is a very big devotee. So yeah, coming back to the point that in this way, Bhishma Dev and Keikei, they are on that same principle that they have even caused the highest disgrace on their name forever, just to facilitate the pastimes of the Lord. Okay. And also, like when he was in the bed of arrows, the arrows that Arjun has shooted on him. So at that point of time, he gave many important instructions, right, for the pleasure of Krishna. Krishna wanted that he should give these instructions to Yudhishthir. Okay, so the next name that was Karna. So these are the names that we are discussing now. The order that in which we are discussing is the order that Duryodhana has given to us, right? First Drona, then Bhishma, then Karna. So yeah, so who was Karna? He was very powerful demon in past life, and he was in a fight with Narnarayan, and at that point of time when he was almost about to be defeated, he fled and he took shelter of Sun God. So at that point of time, Sun God saved him. And in the next life, he took birth as his son, Sun God's son, right? So we all know that when this mantra was given to Kunti Maharani, that when you chant this mantra, you can call on demigods, right? So at that point of time, she wanted to check this mantra and she called and she got a son from Sun God, right? But because at that point of the time, she was not married, and there are many different details on this. So we will not go into that. So there are many misconceptions on Karna. We will discuss that in some time. And why we see that he had good qualities, like he was very, very charitable. He used to give very big charities. And he was also very knowledgeable. He was very powerful as a warrior also. So all these good qualities were there in Karna because of the association of Sun God. A Sun God is a god who is actually helping the Lord in this cosmic manifestation, the duties of cosmic manifestation, right? And Sun God in himself is very pure. So because of his association, he had these very good qualities. But all those qualities were lost due to bad association with Duryodhana. So when he was with Duryodhana, when he got into the association of Duryodhana, whatever good qualities that he had, they were all bad. They became bad. So, and there is one more point that many people say that किसी भूखे को खिलाया है तो ज्यादा अच्छा है, किसी को दान दिया वो बहुत अच्छा है, right? There are many moral principles that general people are having. So in that perspective, they consider Karna to be a very good person. But then at the end, all that matters is intention. So here, Karna's intentions were always to showcase himself as a very big person, to showcase himself as he's such a big dharmatma, right? So everything ends when the intention is wrong. And even if the intention is right, and even if you're not able to do much, if you're just able to do very little, like we have that example of squirrel, right? Like the squirrel is just putting on some dust and putting it in the bridge, right? And Hanumanji is taking big rocks and putting it in the bridge, and the Hanumanji is considering, okay, you are coming in between, right? And Lord Ram says that she's serving me as equally as you are serving me. So similarly, even if very small intention someone is having, but Lord sees the determination, the sincerity of even that small intention, right? That intention has to be right. That intention should be not I should be satisfied. It should be Krishna should be satisfied. So similarly, we see that Karna's intentions were all wrong and he was killed by Arjuna. And yes, so the people who say that he was a very good person and there were many injustices that has happened to him, like therefore he took Duryodhana's sides. This is what people say. So first of all, and yes, this one thing I did not mention that I mentioned that he's the eldest son of Kunti and he could have become the king. He could have a better childhood, right? So he instead, because he was not taken care by Kunti, he was called a Sutputra. And if he would have been on Kunti's side from the starting, he would have become the king because he's elder than Yudhishthira Maharaj also. And Duryodhana helped him making king of Angadesh. So Duryodhana Duryodhana is a very smart person. He knows that, okay, this person is very powerful, he'll make friendship with that person, right? So in that way, Duryodhana helped this person, Karna, and he made them the king of Angadesh. And thus, he actually got buried under the favor of Duryodhana, and he had to take his side. These are all the reasons which are given by general populace for Karna. They are justifying Karna's wrong action, right? They are saying that Karna is not a wrong person. Instead, what needs to be done is now we will discuss. At any cost, at any point of time, even if there have been injustices on us, or even if there have been bad things that have been done on us, we should never ever leave the path of dharma. This is the first point. Bad happenings to us doesn't give us the license to do bad to others. So, like for example, Lord Ram, who would say that justice was done on him? One day before the coronation, he's been kicked out of the kingdom, right? And that too, not just for some time, he's kicked out for 12 years. There are so many cheatings happening, right? Pandavas, no other devotee would have gone through so many things, building putting the house on fire, the feeding poison to Bhima, disrobing Draupadi, cheating them on gambling match. When they are returning, they are not giving them their kingdom. So many injustices, so many. Still, even once, did they consider that they should do wrong to others because wrong has been done on themselves? No, right? Same thing happens on us also. If injustices have been happening on us, we have to look into the lives of these devotees. Are we actually taking the help of Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra at this point of time in our life when things are happening? So, these way, when we actually understand Kunti Maharani, so Kunti Maharani's sons are fighting with each other, right? Karna is fighting with Arjun, right? Kauravas are actually feeding poison to Bhima. So many things are happening to her sons in front of her. They are burning their house, right? So many things are happening. Now, just if there are so many people, there are so many devotees who are mothers. Now, just ask yourself, if this happens to our children, how bad we would feel, right? How much we would be in misery, in anxiety when something is happening to our children. All these things were happening to Kunti's children, and when we read Kunti's prayer in Bhagavatam, she's saying, let these miseries come upon me, Krishna, again and again. Because whenever there is misery, we call out to you and we have your darshan. And when we are not having miseries, then we will never call out to you. So, miseries, if I'm calling out to you and I'm having your darshan, that means all the cycle of birth and death is removed. So miseries are better because the profit that I'm getting is I'm getting out from this cycle of birth and death, right? This is she's praying. No one can even pray like Kunti Maharani that let these miseries come upon me. Still, is she taking this principle that because so many injustices have happened on us, let me do injustice to others? No, right? So this is the quality of a great devotee. And similarly, the actions of Karna, the wrongdoings of Karna are not justified because of this one reason, that bad was happened to him, so he should do bad to others, right? And yeah, there were many personalities who told Karna, like when Karna was taking sides of Duryodhana, and also even Sun God, his own father, he came and he told him that you are on the side of Adharma, you should not be on this side, right? Kunti Maharani tried to pacify him. Lord Krishna told him. There were so many people who tried to inform him, just like Ravan, right? His own brother told him, return Sita Maya. His wife, his children, so many people, so many people. One of the lectures I was hearing, he said, out of all the demons in the past, Ravan is considered the most foolish. Why most foolish? No other demon would have got so many good suggestions from his own people that please return Sita, please return Sita. Please. Everyone is saying, still he is not returning. So this is called foolishness, right? Similarly, there are so many people who is giving Karna this knowledge that you must not be on Adharma's side. You must not be on Adharma's side. Just like terrorists, right? What happens with terrorists? So terrorists, they are in some financial issue. There will be some terrorist organization who would give them money. And because they are getting some money from terrorist organization, they would be under the favor, right? They would be buried under the favor that, okay, this person has helped me, let me help him, let me do anything that he wants, right? And then these people are using these innocent people, they are training them as terrorists, and then they are bombing and they are killing millions of hundreds of people, right? And innocent people. So is the activities of terrorists justified? Are the activities justified because they have been helped by this person? They should do anything for this person? No, right? Similarly, Karna's actions are not justified because he is helped by Duryodhana. He should do anything for Duryodhana. If you are being favored by a particular person who has actually favored you just to satisfy his own demands, at that point of time, we must always return those favors immediately, stating that I'll not be involved in adharma because of this. So, for example, Karna was been made the king of Angadesh. What Karna could have done? He could have returned the kingdom to Duryodhana, saying that, okay, you have favored me and I'm very thankful, but I cannot take your side because you're on the side of adharma just because you have favored me to become a king, right? So you can take your kingdom back, but I will be on Krishna's side. This could have been said by Karna, right? But what he did do, he did not. He was actually not considering that he's totally surrendered to Duryodhan also. If we read those pastimes properly, in the first 10 days of Mahabharat war, so Karna, Bhishma Dev actually had some issue with Karna, and he said many things to Karna initially. So Karna got upset and he said that if Bhishma Dev, I will not be under Bhishma Dev. Bhishma Dev was the Senapati of Kauravas. So he said that I will not fight under Bhishma Dev instruction. If he's fighting, I'm not going to fight. So actually Karna, although he's a friend of Duryodhana, but was he actually friend of Duryodhana? If he is actually the friend of Duryodhana, he would have fought from the first day, right? But on the 10th day, when Bhishma Dev fell down, from that day on, Karna started fighting because now Bhishma Dev is not there on the war field. So there are so many material aspects to non-devotees we see, right? Even their promises, even their charities, even their the activities, they are not justified all in all. They will do what favors them at some point of time. They will not do something which is not favorable to them at other point of time, right? So these are the activities of Karna that we discussed in detail. Okay, so now comes fourth. The fourth name was Kripacharya. So he was family guru of both Kauravas and Pandavas, and he was also very powerful. He is one of the Chiranjeevi. The Chiranjeevis are those who are immortals. They are not going to die. So Kripacharya, of course, he was not. He did not die, of course, in the war because he is Chiranjeevi. But they did not won also. Okay, and he will become Saptarishi in the 8th Manvantar. So now we have to see what are the adjectives which are used for Kripacharya. So now Duryodhana, as we were discussing, right? He's taking names. So he's saying Drona, Bhishma, Karna. The moment he says Karna, he realizes I have done a mistake, right? Why? Because Kripacharya's name should be taken before Karna. But as we already discussed that he just trying to give some favor to people and make them realize that, oh, you're so important for me. So he took the name of Karna and then he realized that, oh, I should have been taking Kripacharya's name first. But because he has done the mistake, so now if we go to the verse, what he's saying, he's saying Kripascha Samitim Jaya. Okay, Kripascha Samitim Jaya. Samitim Jaya means always victorious in battle. So just immediately he's taking Kripacharya's name, he's adding the adjective that he has always been victorious in the battle. Right? And why he's doing that? Because he took Karna's name before Kripacharya, he understood that he made a mistake, and to pacify him, he uses this adjective. And why specifically this particular word? Like there are so many adjectives we have seen in the last verses, right? Maheshwasa, Shura, so many, Maharatha. But he's using this word. So every word in Bhagavad Gita, as we have discussed, has a specific meaning why it is used there. And always victorious at battlefield, he's referring to because he's Chiranjeevi. He will definitely be victorious. But that is not the case, right? As we see at the end, that they are defeated. Dronacharya, Kripacharya, all are defeated, although Kripacharya is Chiranjeevi. So next, there were some more warriors' name which are mentioned, right? Ashwathama, Somadatta, and Vikarna and Somadatta. So now we'll consider Ashwathama. So Ashwathama, he was a son of Dronacharya and he was a friend of Duryodhana. And he did not have proper knowledge of dharma and dharma. Why do we say this, that he did not have proper knowledge? Because he had done a lot of mistakes, right? He had been given all the Shastra Vidya from Dronacharya, and he was actually equally powerful as Karna, but he did not have the knowledge of right and wrong. So what blunders that he did? One was, as I earlier mentioned, that to please Duryodhana, he wanted to kill the 5 Pandavas while they are sleeping. But by mistake, he killed the sons of Draupadi, the 5 sons of Draupadi, and they were all killed. So, which was against the Kshatriya law. You cannot kill a Kshatriya when they are sleeping, right? And when during the war, when he released Brahmastra, so at that point of time, Arjuna also released Brahmastra. So if there are 2 Brahmastras and they when they're about to collide, there would be unlimited destruction that would happen. The whole world would be destroyed, right? So at that point of time, we were asked by, I guess, Vyasdev, that please take these weapons back. Please take Brahmastra back. So Arjuna took his Brahmastra back, but uh, the Ashwathama did not even know how to get it back, how to take it back. He did not know. So this is the first blunder. If you do not know how to take back such a big weapon, why are you first time releasing it, right? You should not even release it. And when he was not knowing how to take it back, so he redirected it to Uttara's son. So who is Uttara? Uttara is the wife of Arjuna, and as we earlier discussed, she is the daughter of Virat, right? Virat, King Virat. She is daughter of him, and sorry, not the wife of Arjuna. She is a wife of Abhimanyu, Arjuna's son. And Uttara's son, Parikshit Maharaj, who was in the womb. Now, this particular person, he's a small infant, right? What wrong that infant has done? But he redirected the Brahmastra to Uttara's womb. And at that point of time, by the grace of Lord Krishna, Parikshit Maharaj was saved. And later we know, because of Parikshit Maharaj, we get Srimad Bhagavatam. So this was one of the blunders of Ashwathama. And because of this such a big mistake that he had done, he was punished by Lord Krishna. So what punishment he got? The gem which he had in his forehead, because of which he was very powerful, Krishna took it away and he told that it will always keep bleeding and it will always emanate bad smell, due to which you cannot stay at one place. So such was a punishment that Krishna gave to Ashwathama. Okay. So this was one of the warrior on Duryodhana's side. Now comes Vikarna. Now Vikarna is one of Duryodhana's brother, and he actually was a Dharmatma. He knew what is right and wrong, and he was the one who rebelled against Draupadi's disrobing. So out of so many people who were there in the assembly, Vikarna said very, very strongly that this is wrong and this is a dharma and this should not be done. But at that point of time, and because he's a younger brother of Duryodhana, and Duryodhana and Dushashan, they made him just sit down and do not speak in against, right? So he could not rebel more. And somehow he could not understand that during the war he must take side of Dharma. So he chose to give support to his elder brother, right? This is therefore Vikarna was on the side of Duryodhana. One more important thing is Vikarna was not such a great warrior as compared to Bhishma Dev, Dronacharya. So there was no need to take his name along with them. Then why Duryodhana took his name? So Duryodhana thought that he might not fight with all might, or he might also go to Pandava's side. So just to pacify him and just to make him comfortable on this side, Duryodhana took his name. Okay. And the other thing was, Duryodhana even did not take Dushasan's name. Dushasan is Duryodhana's brother, who is very much favorable to Duryodhana's plan. He's also equally wicked. So he did not even take Dushasan's name because he knew that he will never ever leave me, right? So this is again the diplomacy of Duryodhana, that he took Vikarna's name, but he did not take any other Dushasan's name or any other brother's name. Especially he took only Vikarna's name just to pacify him and not let him go to Pandava's side. And Vikarna in the battlefield, he was killed by Bhima. Okay, now the last was son of Somadatta, who is Bhurishrava. So Bhurishrava also was a very religious person. He was charitable and he did many yagyas. And he was also a cousin brother of Duryodhana. Bhurishrava is from the Duryodhana's grandfather's brother's side. So he was sort of cousin brother of Duryodhana. And he was killed by Satyaki. And now why Duryodhana is taking names of people who are charitable or who are very religious in that way. Here, why we see that Duryodhana is taking such names is because sorry, he wants to say that it's not like only Pandavas are dharmic or only Pandavas have good deeds, right? Even we have charitable people, we have religious people on our side also. So that is why he's also, this is one of the messages that he also wants to convey through these people. Okay, so now some important takeaways. One of the important takeaways is Duryodhan took so many names, right? People who are religious, people who are charitable, but not even once he mentioned Lord Krishna's name. As per him, Krishna could not be compared to even religious people, nor to Maharathis, nor to. He was just a charioteer, basically, from Duryodhana's point of view. Lord Krishna is just a charioteer. He's not going to fight. He's not going to take a weapon. Oh, what is the need to even mention his name, right? There are so many warriors he named from Pandava's side. There are so many warriors named from Duryodhana's side. But not even once he took the name of Krishna because from his point of view, he was not an important person. And these are similarly the symptoms of a non-devotee. A non-devotee will never consider Krishna's presence or how all the activities in our life are actually taken care by Krishna. We non-devotee will also always have this idea of I have this person, that person, or I am capable myself. This would be the symptom. Okay, so when we make success calculations, we actually when we are making success calculation as in we will consider how much money we have collected or so many properties, so many flats, so many house I have so many high profile people whom I know very personally. There are so many doctors I know personally, MLAs, IAS, right? There are people who actually keep on mentioning, अरे आपको पता है मेरी कहाँ तक पहचान है all those things, right? People have that thing in their mind that if I have connections with these people at the time of crisis, these will be there to help me. This is the main criteria why people are making friends. Why material people are making friends or making connections is because they want to safeguard themselves. Okay, so this is the main thing. And similarly, this is what Duryodhan is doing. He is considered with warriors who have gone wrong previously. So I want to pacify them. There are some warriors whom I want to just take their names so that my people are getting ignited. Like for example, Drupada's son and all that. Similarly, he's considering all those things, but he's not considering that who is behind all of this situation, right? It is Lord Krishna. So this is the similar way we also make success calculations in our life. And at that point of time, the whole conclusion comes in, whom are we looking for shelter? So whenever crisis come, which is always going to come, dukhalaya mashashvatam. So this material world is always, we are always going to get dukh here. So we are not ever entitled to any enjoyment. And even if there is some enjoyment, it is temporary. So material assets and people, are we taking shelter of these things at the time of crisis? Or are we taking shelter of Srila Prabhupada, his books, devotee association, all the processes, bhakti processes that Srila Prabhupada has very mercifully given to us? This is the important takeaway from all the verses that we have discussed today. So whom are we taking shelter during crisis? Duryodhana is taking shelter of these people when he's thinking that this is a crisis. Crisis as in this is a war and he's taking shelter of these people. He's trying to make connections. Now, when Arjun is being discussed, Arjun is not taking names of anyone. He is not naming this person is so important, that person is Maharathi, that person is Maheshwasa. No, no one is naming on Pandava's side because they are peacefully situated. They know we are on the Dharma side and we are on Krishna's side, and whatever happens would be Krishna's decision. So they are peaceful and they are satisfied and they are not trying to pacify people and they are not trying to make people understand that you are important just before the war, right? So this way, This is the important thing. And I guess it's 5 o'clock. So we'll take some questions. Anyone has any question? From the previous verses that we have discussed or the verses that we discussed today? Why did Duryodhana feel that Dronacharya was more favorable than Bhishma? Both believed the Pandavas to be righteous. No, Dronacharya was not more favorable than Bhishma. Dronacharya knew that he was on the wrong side. And Bhishma also knew that he was on the wrong side. But Dronacharya, because first he went to Dronacharya, why? Because he knew Bhishma Dev will take the side of Kauravas because of his vow. Dronacharya did not have any such vow, right? First point. And the other point was he wanted to ignite through that the son of Drupada, your disciple, and all that story that I told you, right? That Dronacharya and Drupad story. So that because of that, he went to Dronacharya first and he took the name of Dronacharya first.
Okay. Bhishma's vow, that's why he was confident of that. Okay,
Yes.
that answers.
And
Thank you,
also
ma'am.
he had this confidence that these two generals, Drona and Bhishma, they will probably not leave him during the war because when he was disrobing Draupadi at that point of time also these two warriors were mum. They did not say anything, right? So although he did not know why they are not saying anything because he wanted Bhishma they wanted to glorify Krishna, but he thought that okay because they are keeping mum at this point of time during the war also they will take my side only, they will not leave. So that way.
Even Hare Krishna Mataji, even this can be the reason that Duryodhana had always some kind of anger against Bhishma because Bhishma was always in favor of Pandavas. Maybe
Bhishma
that
Dev,
must be the angst.
no, as per the Acharya's commentary, like, so for example, when we are reading the scripture, we are considering Acharya's commentary. So Acharyas have given these reasons, whatever we have discussed, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so that we can consider. This one can be there, cannot be there. I have not heard from senior devotees, so I would not like to add it as my thought. Okay. Okay, so I just want to ask as a feedback point of view. So if there is any particular suggestion from anyone that should be considered, let's say speed of the class, or if you are able to follow, not able to follow, any other thing, any other feedback that you would like to add to make the class even more understandable for you all.
Mataji, you are doing perfect. This is the perfect speed, and I think this
Sorry,
speed should
Mataji,
be.
I'm not able to hear.
Mataji, you are doing the perfect thing, the perfect speed. Because if we take this speed, we can, complete Bhagavad Gita faster.
So you're saying, that you wanted to get completed faster, you're saying?
Not that fast, but at this speed. The speed we
Okay,
are
you
taking.
want it to increase. Okay.
The speed we are going on is correct.
Yes. Got it, Mataji. I'll try to speeden up. Yep. Thank you so much, Mataji. Any other devotee would like to add anything?
Also, Mataji, the class should be either recorded or should go live stream.
It is recorded, Mataji. I'm sharing the link every time.
Yes.
Yes. It is recorded and it is live stream. You can check the video again on YouTube. Okay. Any other thing? I'll share the PPT in the group. So today's PPT you all can refer what all points we have discussed. And yes, I was just trying to go to the detail of the warriors because that way you would be able to understand why why Duryodhana is taking their name, how it is his diplomacy, right? If I just say Duryodhana's diplomacy and then we just read the names, then we will not understand what is the diplomacy. But why he's taking the names, if we go into the background of those warriors, then we understand that, okay. Okay, then. Thank you all of you for joining in. Whatever good I was able to speak, it was all because of Srila Prabhupada and all the Acharya's mercy. but I see that there are some more corrections that I'll try to apply. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining in, for encouraging. Because of you, I'm able to serve. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Vancha kalpatarubhasya kripa sindhubhya cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Shri Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Mataji. Hare
Mataji.
Krishna. Beautiful class.
Mataji, Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Mataji.
Thank you.
Thank you,
For
Mataji.
in detail explaining about the diplomacy of Duryodhana, and specifically explaining about Kripacharya, Dronacharya in detail. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
See you in the next class.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.